Hey ladies, welcome to episode 115. I know in last week's episode 114, I talked about setting goals for this year that have nothing to do with your weight or weight loss. And the feedback on the podcast, and I even shared about it on social media, has been like, thank you, these are great. Oh my gosh, great ideas. I love that. So if you happen to miss episode 114, you can pause this one, head over there, listen, then come back, or give a listen to this one and then head back over to episode 114. In this episode, though, I really want to kind of shine some light on something that I'm hearing a lot of, and it's dieting without being on a diet. There are 5 signs that I'm going to share with you right here on this episode that you might be dieting without actually even being on a diet. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Health, Life, and More for Women podcast. My name is Jennifer D'Amato, a certified intuitive eating counselor, coach, mom of 4, lover of all things pink, and I want you to live your best health and your best life. I believe the way we can all do that is by finally walking away from diet culture, by relearning what your body needs, reconnecting with your body's biological signals, and redefining what health is on your terms. This show will shed some light on sneaky ways diet culture has infiltrated your thoughts, your family, and your well-being. My heart is that no matter the episode, you walk away feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged. Let's go. So, this episode really does come from personal experience. When I finally decided I'm so done with trying to manipulate the size of my body, when I'd hit my limit of just absolute overwhelm with tracking and working out and constantly paying attention to every single thing that I ate or drank. When I hit that limit, I was like, okay, I'm done. I had already started pursuing intuitive eating, but I would definitely say I was where my clients are when they start. Maybe you don't want to call yourself an intuitive eater, you're pursuing intuitive eating. And that's where I was. And at the beginning of that journey, before I actually reached out and had like real support in this, and working through the thoughts that came with orthorexia and obsessive dieting, I was still dieting. I I really was hanging on to some things that even though I wasn't tracking anymore, I wasn't formally on a diet plan, I was definitely still dieting. So when I share these 5 signs, I want you to know they come from a mix of personal experience and in talking with so many women. I mean, that's part of my job, right? I'm on the phone, I'm having these conversations with women who are looking for support. I am having conversations with my clients who are breaking down old thoughts and what they've been working through. And even in my private Facebook group, these are conversations that are coming up. By the way, if you're not part of that group, I would absolutely love to support you. I'd love to have you part of that group. Over the holidays, kind of took just a break, but back in there and want to be able to have a place where women can come and share what they're struggling with, share what their wins are, and be able to support you in that way. It's totally free. And a great way to kind of say, I want to dip my toe in. So if you go into the show notes, you can just click join free Facebook group, or you can look for us on Facebook if you search for health over weight. But anyway, back to this topic, this 5 signs you're dieting without a diet. So the first one I want to share with you, number 1 sign is that you're not eating certain foods. Now, this isn't about, I've been diagnosed with celiac or, I have a lactose issue. No, not eating certain foods based on a fear of that food. And when I say fear, I'm not talking about the boogeyman coming out of the closet, yelling. I'm talking about what will this food do to my body? a fear based on this food, the messages that come from this food. So, one example would be sugar. I mean, this poor plant. It is a plant, it grows out of the earth. Don't at me at this one. But let's talk about the fear of sugar. So, you avoid anything that has sugar. This is a sign that you're still dieting because you are afraid to consume a certain food, not because you're going to have an allergic reaction, and not even because of something like your thyroid or inflammation, though there's definitely mixed research on both of those. But this is a fear of food because, well, your weight, because of your size, because you also believe you won't have control. So if you are avoiding certain foods, you're like, nope, I can't have that food. This is a sign you're probably still dieting. Now, with all of these, what I really want to remind you of, the truth is that a way to guarantee you overeat, binge, or get to a place where you completely break is to restrict. If you are restricting, I'm not going to eat any foods with sugar, or I'm afraid of having carbohydrates, or it's anything with fat in it, that I'm not eating these. Anytime I restrict, it is guaranteed there's going to be a breaking point and an overconsumption, overeating, an absolute binge type episode. So the number one sign is you're afraid of these foods. You're afraid of certain foods and you're not allowing yourself to eat them. Well, until you do, right? The second sign that you are still dieting, even when you're not on a diet plan, is that you are ignoring your body's natural hunger signals. This is actually really being pushed hard. If you know someone who has tried or is doing intermittent fasting, this is like a red flag, sirens going off, danger, danger, because what they're doing is actually ignoring their body's intuitive hunger signals. Now, you don't have to be intermittent fasting to be stuck in this diet mentality. Suppress the hunger, suppress the hunger, suppress the hunger. Don't eat, don't eat, don't eat. And what happens? What I hear from a lot of women is they don't eat very much during the day because they've gotten in this habit of ignoring their body's hunger signals. And they find somewhere between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m., they feel like they can't stop eating. Then they start believing they're out of control. They believe they need to restrict even more, and they stay in this cycle. What's happening is your body is going to find a way to make up for all the food you haven't eaten. All those times you hit ignore, 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 it's going to say consume, consume, consume. When I talk about intermittent fasting and how dangerous I believe it is it's actually creating binge-like behavior, this over-consuming, overeating, binging at night. This is why, and one of several reasons, but this is definitely why I believe ignoring hunger signals is a diet without dieting, and why intermittent fasting is absolutely a diet, and the end result is all backfiring. I was actually reading from a mother the other day. She had written something in this response about intermittent fasting and how it was the absolute catalyst for her daughter's eating disorder. That's how dangerous it can be. And again, even if you're not going to that level, but you are ignoring your hunger signals, this is a diet. This is still in that dieting mentality. So maybe you're even noticing, like, I can't get full at night. I'm eating and I'm eating and I'm eating and I'm eating and I'm not satisfied. Get curious. What's going on during the day? Am I sitting at my desk and I'm just not getting up? Am I feeling a little hungry but ignoring it? Where are those thoughts coming from? Is this a pattern that you've developed a habit, or is it because, again, it comes back to, I need to eat less and restrict? And again, I'm probably going to have said it like 16 times by the time I'm done here, and that restriction leads to overeating. Okay, the third sign that you are dieting without being on a diet is you notice an increase in your thoughts about food. Like you just find yourself thinking about food a lot. And it may be certain kinds of foods. Again, if we go back to the restriction and the fear of certain foods, I'm supposed to have this off limits. Why can't I stop thinking about it? It's because you're restricting it. If I told you, don't think about purple elephants right now, don't do it. No purple elephants. What do you picture in your head? Can you see that purple elephant? And later today, you may notice a thought of a purple elephant pops in your head. I can't unsee that now in my own head. If I tell you no repeatedly, no, don't have this, don't think about this, don't see this, your brain is amazing and it's going to keep you stuck in that thought. So this one might be harder to detect for you, but a sign that you're dieting without a diet is increased thoughts about food. All right, are you ready for the fourth sign that you might be dieting without a diet? I know you are. You use words like should and shouldn't all the time. So, this is when it comes to food, and you could even see this when it comes to exercise and movement. I should be working out every day. I shouldn't be eating that. I should have more greens. I shouldn't have anything with carbohydrates. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing that. It's a a constant in your vocabulary. These rules of shoulds and shouldn'ts. So a real like big signal you are in that diet mentality, that diet mode, is you're always in this rule place of should and shouldn'ts. What's really amazing is when I do see my clients like stop using these words on a regular basis. They really start exploring what they want, what they need, not what they should or what they've been told they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. And that goes the same for what they're consuming, what they're eating. And it's amazing how much more peaceful they feel. There's a sense of calm. There's also an empowerment when you're no longer stuck in the should and shouldn'ts. All right, a quick recap before I get to the fifth and final sign that you might be dieting without a diet. The first one was that you're not eating certain foods, and a lot of that is based on a fear of the food. The second was that you are ignoring your body's natural hunger signals. The third was you've noticed there's an increase in your thoughts about food or certain foods. You just seem to be really focused on them. Do you remember the purple elephant? The fourth is you're using words like should and shouldn't when it comes to food, when it comes to exercise. You're noticing there's a lot of rules that keep coming up in your thoughts. All right, there's one more I have for you, the fifth sign. This is really where it all comes from. This is really where the crux of it all is that everything, and I mean everything, comes back to the size of your body. Everything comes back to weight loss. A big sign that you are still dieting is that all of your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your reactions all come back to the size of your body. And if you think about that, it's really how you feel about the size of your body, how you feel in your body, how you feel about your weight. Every decision that you're making throughout the day, and everything all comes back to that. A sure sign that you are dieting without a diet is you are consumed with thoughts about your body and that you base everything you do or don't do on your body, on your weight. That's like a gut check moment. And I know for me personally, that was like in my face. Why was I choosing the breakfast I was having? It was all about my weight, the size of my body. I wouldn't allow myself to have rest days at the gym because of the size of my body. And this is after dieting. This is after letting go of all the tracking and the obsessive part. I still was stuck in that place. I was still consumed with thoughts of my body. I was still dieting without a diet. I don't know if all of these are speaking to you, all 5 of them, you're just like, oh my goodness, this woman is reading my mail, or if 1 or 2 of them kind of pop out and they're really kind of making you get curious and think about what's coming up for you, what is dictating, your choices, your habits, your behavior, what's affecting your thoughts about yourself. So whether it's all of them, one of them, a few of them here and there that you're noticing, yeah, I really am still holding on to dieting, diet culture, diet thoughts. I want to encourage you that there's a great first step you can take. I actually created something to help you start working through letting go of diets, of diet culture, of the things that really are like leftovers, right? Those lingering things. It's a simple checklist you can download, and I'm going to put it right in the show notes, and it just says Diet Detox Checklist. I know there's a lot of people still in January talking about detoxes and cleanse. Let me tell you, if your kidneys and your liver and your digestive system are working, you have had no medical professional tell you that there are issues with any of those, body organs, functions, then you don't need a cleanse or a detox. Your body actually does it for you. Thank you, body. Thank you for working. But the detox, the cleanse you need, is really removing the rest of diets, diet culture, diet tools, diet thoughts. So that's why I created this checklist. Again, it came from personal experience, work with clients over the years, and just things I see going on and that I know you're hearing and being exposed to. So I created this checklist. I put it right in the show notes for you. Download it today, or just use it right on your phone. Isn't that the great thing, is we can access these things on our phone and start going through that checklist. Start checking off what you've already done, and then look at the areas you want to start tackling today. I can't end this without making sure you know there's never judgment here. This is always a place to help you get curious, help you start looking a little bit deeper, help you recognize things maybe you haven't yet. One of the things I hear from my clients most often is, Jen, I really haven't thought about that. Or, I've never gone there before. Like, I've never even considered that. That's what I like to do, is just give you an opportunity just to look at yourself a little bit deeper, get curious about who you are, what you believe, what you think, and really start recognizing what keeps you stuck in diet culture, what keeps you believing you need to diet, that you need to shrink your body. So I just want to reiterate, there's never judgment. Maybe you've been dieting. Maybe you're still dieting, and that's how you found this podcast, thinking it was going to be something else. Or, you're really just like overwhelmed already at the beginning of January with the diet you've already started. There's no judgment. I really just want to give an opportunity for curiosity, for you to go a little bit deeper, and you to start exploring your own thoughts without diet culture getting in the way. All right, I hope this was helpful. I hope these 5 signs gave you something to get curious about. Grab that checklist that's right in the show notes, and we'll be right back here next week. Hey ladies, I'm not sure if you've heard, but I've created a free private group for women. It's called Health Over Weight. It's on Facebook, and all you have to do is head into the show notes now, click Join Private Group, and you can be invited into this space where other women are working on positive body image. They're also working on the fundamentals of intuitive eating and just supporting one another. I go live each week. There's a different topic, and I want to invite you into this group. So if you are ready to dip your toe in, or you've been on this journey for a while and you're just looking for added support and encouragement, come join us in this free private Facebook group for women. See you there.